Welcome to Story Time with Doraemon. And today we are going to be reading a story called Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Suez. What is the actual word, Doraemon? You have to be careful with the copyright, but yeah, just so, you have to read this book. Just in case, you better make sure nobody does some slap gum on you. Alright. I'm gonna be reading this off the camera, but I'll be careful about copyright, so let's begin reading the book about Horton hatching an egg. I have no idea what this book is about, but I've read it before since I was a little boy. Yes. You need to explode your senos if you do that. Oh, come on. This is the rhyme I'm busy reading his sissy book. Oh, man. You will be forced to not get hit when you record ourselves on the camera. Alright, let's begin reading Horton Hatches the Egg. Oh, come on. I switched to Lucy. Mr. the Frog wanted to remind you that you should be reading this book. Okay, stop being mean. I am not mean. Okay, let's begin reading this book. This isn't what I mean, but okay. I've been reading this book before, so let's begin. Sighed Maisie, this lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored and I've got kinks in my leg from just sitting here day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I take a vacation, fly out for rest. If I could find someone to stay on this nest, if I could find someone, I'd fly away free. What is this? Then Horton the elephant passed by the tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? The elephant laughed. Why, of all the silly things? I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me on your egg, why? That doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense. Tut tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come, be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. I can't, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I'll give you my word. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed, and you can never come back. Very well, said this elephant, since you insist. You want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg, and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful, I mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang out Maisie and fluttered away. The first thing to do, murmured Horton. Let's see. The first thing to do is to prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done before I can get on it. I must weigh it on. What is the fruit? He's propping up the tree. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. Are you sure that's real? Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm. And he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and it lightninged, it thundered, it rumbled. This isn't much fun, the poor elephant grumbled. I wish she'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget. I think this makes me feel in knocking it off. But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way out in Palm Beach. And having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never come back to her nest. How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not your son and my name is not Shy? You could never come back. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn, the leaves blew away, and then came the winter, the snow and the sleet, and the icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, Shoo, I'll stay on this egg and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, and elephant's faithful 100%. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered around. They shouted with glee, "Look, Horton the elephant's up in a tree." They taunted, they teased him, they yelled, "How absurd! Old Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird." Is that real? I've read that book before, but I will throw a boomerang fish at you. It is real. They laughed, and they all ran away. And Horton was lonely. He wanted to play, but he sat on the egg and continued to say, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended and fought." But poor Horton's troubles were far from ended. For, while Horton sat there so faithful and so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with the start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. "Oh, come on. Don't shoot. It's just Horton." "Oh, but be careful." Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high and he threw out his chest. And he looked at the poor hunters as much as to say, "Shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. We stopped. Okay, never mind, JK. But the men didn't shoot. Much to Horton's surprise, they dropped the 3 guns and they stared with wide eyes. "Look," they all shouted, "can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree. It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful, new. Don't shoot him, we'll catch him, that's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive. Why, he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back on the circus for money." And the first thing he knew, they built a wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside with Horton so sad that he practically cried. "We're off," the men shouted, and off they all went with Horton unhappy, 100%. Real. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high, then down the mountains, and down to the sea with the cock, with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. I'm not sure what will happen to the freed. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, out over the ocean. Ugh, what a trip. Rolling and tossing and splashing with the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, but am I seasick? 100%. And down after bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they land at last in the town of New York. All ashore, the men shouted, and down they all went. And down with the lurch went Horton the elephant still on his perch. Tied onto board, they could just scarcely hold him. Bump! Horton landed, and then the men sold him. Where did they sell him? But be careful with the freaks. They sold to a circus, then week after week they showed it to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington too. To Dayton, Ohio, to St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota, and everywhere. Thousands of folks flocked to see and laughed at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the further he went. But he said as he sat in the hot, noisy tent, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Then, one day, the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach, and dawdling along way up high in the sky, who of all people should chance to fly by but that good-for-nothing bird, Runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags in the tents just below, she sang out, "What fun! Why, I'll go to the show." And she swooped from the clouds to the open tent door. Good gracious, gasped Maisie. I've seen you before. Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, there rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks. That's almost a whole year. Then a bumping, a thumping, a bumping, a wild, a light scratching. My egg, shouted Horton. My egg, why, it's hatching. But it's mine, screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done. She wanted it back. It's my egg, she sputtered. You stole that from me. Get off the nest and get out of my tree. Poor Horton backed out with a sad, heavy heart. But at that very instant, the egg burst apart. And out of the pieces of red and white shell, from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. I think it's the elephant bird. What? And the people came shouting, what's all this about? They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered, and they cheered, and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like this before. My goodness, my gracious, they shouted, my word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird. And it should be like that. Because Horton was faithful. He sat and he sat. He meant what he said and he said what he meant. Macy is punished for her laziness by ending up with absolutely nothing. And they sent him home happy 100%. Oh my God, that's a great story. I know I've read that book before since I was a little boy. But you did very good. But being careful with the copyright. But be careful. You're such a baka. You know what? I will be thrown down. 1, 2, 3, boom. You can never come back.